Good afternoon, you're with News First. This is your lunchtime primetime news bulletin. Let's start off with a look at the headlines. Bail granted to former Minister Johnston Fernando. Final draft on the 20th Amendment to the Constitution to be presented to Cabinet next week. A statement from Minister Rajitha Senaratne. JVP comments on electoral reforms. Sri Lankan engineer kidnapped in Nigeria released. Ranbhoomi rally for unity en route to Walimada. On to those stories in detail, Cabinet spokesperson Minister Rajitha Senaratne says that the final draft on the 20th Amendment to the Constitution will be presented to the Cabinet next week. The Minister said that the current draft on the amendment was presented to the Cabinet last evening by President Maithripala Sirisena.
The Cabinet bill was formulated based on the facts included in the report compiled by the subcommittee. Thereby, it was proposed to increase the parliamentary seats to 255 from 225 and also to appoint 165 MPs on the singular system and also appoint MPs from the national list based on the remainder of the proportions. This was discussed extensively. The final draft bill in this regard will be discussed together with the President, Prime Minister and other party leaders and other interested public representatives and will be presented to Cabinet.
The Cabinet spokesperson also noted that at last evening's Cabinet meeting, attention was drawn towards the no-confidence motion that is to be tabled against the Prime Minister.
අග්‍රාමාත්‍යතුමා කිව්වා මේ පිළිබඳව මේ ඔක්කොම කරන්නට ඉස්සෙල්ලා දැන් ඉදිරිපත් කරලා තියෙනවා අග්‍රාමාත්‍යතුමාට විරුද්ධ විශ්වාස භංග යෝජනා රජයට විරුද්ධ.
A no-confidence motion has been presented against the Prime Minister and the government. There needs to be a decision on this made before proceeding with the 20th Amendment to the Constitution. There needs to be an understanding between the United National Party and the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. The President at last evening's Cabinet meeting said that a discussion will be held between the leaders of the alliance and a decision will be taken on the matter.
The JVP says that if the Cabinet reaches a final decision on the 20th Amendment to the Constitution, there is a possibility of passing it expeditiously. Leader of the JVP, Anura Kumara Disanayaka, made this statement at a meeting in Galle.
If the Cabinet can make a final decision on the electoral system, it can be presented to Parliament and be passed. The JVP is ready to intervene in the matter, but the electoral system should be one that protects the democratic rights of the people of the country. If the amendments to this constitution is to be taken forward, then a new rule and a new constitution needs to be created. This current system is not sufficient to impose punishment on those who committed fraud.
On to one of our headline-making stories for the day. Former Minister Johnston Fernando, who was in remand custody, has been released on bail by the Kurunegala High Court today. The former minister was released on bail amounting to 25,000 rupees and 3 sureties worth 2.5 million rupees each. Former Minister Johnston Fernando was arrested in connection to irregularities at Satosa. The Attorney General was not against the request for bail when the case was taken up today. The Colombo High Court today announced that the suspects over the homicide of a mother and a daughter in Kotaketana will be acquitted. The announcement was made when the verdict was delivered today. The Department of Coast Conservation has taken measures to prevent sand mining from taking place in the areas surrounding the Muhudu Mahavihara. This measure was taken by the department after a Newsfirst expose. However, another group is preparing to challenge this measure.
This sand dune, located in the areas surrounding the Muhudu Mahavihara in Potterville, is an area with great historic value. On the 17th, Newsfirst exposed the destruction caused to this area by sand miners. As a measure of response, the Department of Coast Conservation took measures to erect a fence in the area on the 18th so that tractors cannot enter the area. However, a group that had arrived on the night of the 24th had destroyed the fence. A complaint has been lodged with the Potterville police and investigations are afoot.
D.A. Karunadasa, a Sri Lankan engineer who was kidnapped for ransom in Nigeria, has been released. His daughter, D.A.M. Shenali Ratnasekara, said that her father had contacted her last night and informed her of this matter. She added that the Sri Lankan High Commission in Nigeria had confirmed the release of her father as well. The Sri Lankan national, who was working for an Italian-owned company for 23 years in Nigeria, was abducted on the 18th of May. He was abducted between the Nigerian states of Kogi and Ondo. The acting Sri Lankan High Commissioner for Nigeria rather contacted News First via Skype a short while ago.
Around 5 o'clock in Nigeria time, in Sri Lanka time around 10 o'clock, I was informed that engineer Mr. Karunadasa has been released. After that, I spoken to him on the telephone, and during the conversation I gathered that he has been in good health and in a secure place. So I am planning to meet him during the course of the day today, and after we meet, I am planning to discuss with him how the next step to be taken. His physical condition, because he has been, according to what I hear, even though the policeman died and the driver got wounded, there was no physical harm to him. So he must be in good health. That's what I gathered last night when I talked to him.